is Brylee Ballard, and I did research over whether or not it's possible to improve school-age children's food habits. The article I used to do my research was, "Is it possible to improve healthy food habits in school children? A cross-cultural study among Spain and Poland." And this article came from the journal titled Food Quality and Preference, and it was published in 2022. The main focus of this article was to go into schools and implement food, like healthy eating intervention programs, and measure food neophobia. And if you don't know what neophobia is, food neophobia specifically, it's like the fear of unfamiliar things. So like in children, that's definitely something that is like very common because they don't like change. So when you go in and start telling them they can't eat this, and this anymore because it's bad for them, it probably scares them, causing that neophobia. And the way that they went about trying to do the intervention is they used apps to record this neophobia, and they also used surveys and measured the food patterns of all the kids that were in the sample of this research. And the importance of this research is it addresses the food behaviors of that group of kids, and it notices which foods they are constantly avoiding, or that they are scared of, causing that food neophobia, and how it influences their dietary habits. And the importance of that is it can teach us different ways to go about introducing these new healthy foods to these children. The method that I noticed that was used in this research was quantitative methods, because they took a specific sample of children and recorded the numbers that were given back to them from their app that they used, and the survey questionnaire that they also used, and the sample size, the subjects that they used within the whole but the whole that they went back to in the article was a sample of children from Spain and Poland, but their age, genders, and ethnicities weren't exactly mentioned in the article. But since they are school-age children, you can go about and assume that they were probably of all different ages and genders, and they were going to be different ethnicities because it was 2 different countries that were used. And the method that was used to gather the data they called it a hedonic questionnaire. And basically, when I did my research of what a hedonic questionnaire was, they go in and they're able to go back in and report what they ate for the day and record it. The children did, and there's ups and downs to that, because it's reliant on the children saying what they ate, and sometimes they might not know exactly what it was or not remember exactly what they had for breakfast, but also gives researchers more in depth what these kids are actually eating, and the type of statistics that were used. I would say that it was descriptive statistics, to evaluate the changes within the food categories that the sample size of children were eating, and it didn't exactly say it was descriptive, but with the information that you got from the article, I just it relates back most to descriptive statistics. The results of this experiment, they were for the most part successful. It was recorded that the children who had the most food neophobia in the beginning had the most change for the most part. And it also showed, you were able to see how much more frequently the sample of children were eating the healthy foods, and how that this experiment did impact the way that they look at everything, and how overall the experiment, the article experiment was successful because you were able to see how these children understood that these things that they were eating, that they were going to be taught to eat, actually were going to benefit them in the end, and that's how you can infer that it was successful. The most important findings in this study were the children that had food neophobia were significantly influenced by the intervention process, and the food neophobia, those children that were affected by food neophobia benefited the most from this intervention program. And it shows that by doing the research on these things, more interventions can be implemented, not only in school children but also in societies where it's recorded that they're mostly unhealthy. It can be, this experiment can be applied to those things and help with that. And the strengths of this study, the app that was used to measure the different food behaviors of the children was it was very engaging for the children of the study. So I think that was one of the most the most strengthening part of this study. But the limitations to this study, like I said earlier with the questionnaire, it's reliant on self-reporting, and there really wasn't much of a follow-up when it came to the final assessment, so we don't know how long this helps, if it was a forever thing or just a short time thing. With the conclusion, the researchers conclusion at the end of the article, they said that healthy eating intervention program effectively changed children's eating behaviors, particularly helping reduce the food neophobia, and that future programs could consider this as a baseline to optimize their outcomes. To me, the conclusion of this, it highlighted the significance to understand children's behaviors and the impact this intervention had to help with their food habits to the class. This could be a way to understand and better educate on how to implement things the food interventions into our nutrition journeys into the world. This could help address food neophobia, not for children but for everyone. Therefore, implementing this intervention could help have lasting effects on our world by showing what is good food eating behaviors and how it could better the overall diet of the public. Thank you.